Alright, we're not using that. We can't land on that, it's too big. But the Terrier still has a thrust to weight ratio on Minmus of 8.2. So yeah, it's still fine for. Why are you saying a thrust to weight ratio of 0.41 in a vacuum? But 8.2 when on Minmus in a vacuum. Oh, because it depends on the gravity of the body you're on, of course it does. Yeah. Alright, I'll get us off on and off Minmus, that's fine. Okay. Go back to the original plan with the legs. Makes that look a little bit ugly with the join there, but we'll live with it. Does that mess the staging up? Engine, decouple, drogues, main chute. No, that's fine. And then we have that fuel tank here. Now this is going to be a single stage. Bobcat gives us more gimbaling. Thrust to weight ratio is not high enough though. That's not going to get us off the pad. And if we're... Oh, no, that's thrust to weight in a vacuum. If we were at 5 or 10k, still not high enough. Gonna need a bigger engine. Or more boost. Could just put some thuds on the outside. If we fire all of those together, then we have 1.5 off the pad, 2,400 in the bottom stage. All nitrates require a certain amount of caffeine. How much caffeine required is variable on body mass and age, but it goes up as a ratio of wet mass body plus caffeine over dry mass. Something rocket equation. Yeah, pretty much. Especially if the coffee you're drinking is called rocket fuel or something similar. No, like I was saying to everybody else earlier on, apart from a brief dip around 5:30 when my body went, why aren't you asleep yet? It's actually been alright. Not been too bad at all, this. We've got another 2 hours to go. Right, that's going to get off the pad. 2,200 gets you to space, it doesn't get you to orbit. 2.5 in there probably would do the job. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to strap a couple of boosters on the side of this. Give ourselves some extra kick. Seriously, KSP? What's that? Ugh. What are you trying to do? Alright. You know what? Spin it around the other way. If that makes any difference. I only want 2 of you, I don't want 4. And you still build it inside. Why have you attached the booster to the back of the decoupler? Makes no sense. I kind of want the bigger decouplers as well, the ones that stand out a little further off the ship, because we've tried this trick before in other runs, and these boosters have a habit of actually hitting the craft on the way out. If I built with 4, are you actually going to do it properly? Now you work. You're not attached properly, but you work. That's too far the other way. That's where you're supposed to be. And you're clipping the legs, which means you're going to go boom. Need to come down a little bit anyway. It's a bit more central. But you are still clipping the legs. Ready to bring all of that down a touch. Alright. And one more. Yep, we can do that. That clears the legs. Aerodynamics. Do we have any sort of nose cones? We do. Just for that extra bit of looking slightly better than a lump of rocket. Now, off the pad, that gives us 1300 with a thrust of 1.58. That's actually about right for launching. And then if we put all those together, 1.45 on the on the main stage. And we've exceeded the mass limit. That's a heavy ship. If I take a little bit of solid fuel out of this, and we get it down to about 130, yeah, 137 is not too bad. So that gives us thruster weight at 1.76 off the pad. Alright, a bit high, we'll bring that down a tiny bit. 1.49, that's better. There's 1158 out of the boosters. 2255 out of the main stage, that's 3300. That's going to get us to orbit, pretty damn close to it. And then once we're in space, we've got 2,500 in the top stage, which is going to get us to Mimbus and back quite comfortably, I think. Somebody tell me if I've calculated wrong. I'm pretty sure that's going to be 5 Mimbus. It's 930, 950 to Mimbus without plane change. 180 maximum for plane change if you have to, so that's still only 1,000. A couple hundred to land, a couple hundred to take off. 14, 1500. 300 or 400 to come home. Yeah, we've got margin. Alright, so boosters, drop boosters, main engines, decouple, second stage, and then when we come home, drop the fuel tanks, fire the drogues, fire the main chute. That should do the job. I've got comms, I've got science, I've got batteries, I've got solar panels, parachutes. I don't think we're missing anything. There's half a chance when the boosters drop off they're going to hit the engines, and if it does that, we'll revert and redesign it. But for now, I think it's looking like it's good to go. Turn it down a little more. Doesn't need to be that far off the pad. Still a bit high. That's better. Morning, Suze. How you doing? Hope you all slept well. Much like I'm going to sleep well later on. Yeah. I think this is set to go to Mimmus. Mimmus Lander Mark 1. Hopefully we don't need a Mark 2. Tati, you're more awake than me. Do you see anything wrong with this ship before I launch it? My brain's starting to zone out again. I think it's alright. But I realised for a second there I was talking and wasn't listening to what I was saying, so I have no idea. Possibly struts, I guess. We should probably strut the top just to hold the boosters in place. It needs a better paint job. I'll work on the paint job. Oh, you're on the phone, you're on tiny screen. Okay, fair enough. I was just trying to run through your mental checklist in my head. Tom, parachutes, batteries, solar panels. Yeah, we can revert it if it doesn't work. I think it's good to go. I don't think there's anything else I need to make a change with that. Yep, 22 hours and counting. Yeah, battery, antenna, solar, parachutes. The 4 main ones are covered. And we have a scientist on board. We have a heat shield. We have the couplers in the right place. Yeah, let's launch it. Let's see what happens. It's not hard mode. Don't need RCS. Just need fuel. This is why mission control at NASA has shifts. This is why no one does more than about 8 hours at a desk before the second shift and the third shift come in. Because even just basic comprehension after 22 hours of streaming is tough. I actually got to the point for a couple of minutes back there where I was like, my brain was half asleep and I was still talking, and I realised that I could hear a voice and it was actually mine, and I wasn't aware that it was me doing it. And I'm still building rockets. This is what could possibly go wrong? Right, let's go. Let's go to space. 3, 2, 1. Let's not go to space, because apparently it tears itself apart. That went well. Why did that tear itself apart? We have 4 boosters. They're all thrust limited. They're all matching, they're all the same. You reckon it's the struts? I have struts on the boosters. They were wobbling a hell of a lot. I mean, the struts are there. They should be being held in place. I can try strutting the bottoms as well, but... And we are only firing the boosters at this point, we're not even firing the main engines, so... and get that to where it needs to be, which is about there. Let me change symmetry, damn it. Where did that go? I wonder if I can strut them to each other. I was going to strut them to the main engine fuselage, but... yeah, strut symmetry is fine, I'm sure it is. We can do that. Might help control the wobble at the bottom. Struts at the top are tiny, but they are just holding the... no, all four are there. Definitely 4 struts. I've got 4 struts at the bottom as well now. See if that makes a difference. We weren't even firing main engines there, that was just the boosters. Alright, let's try that again. And the boosters are toned down, so the thrust to weight ratio is only 1.4. They're not massively overpowered. It may just be the way the ship's built, it may just be a weird physics glitch. But I've never seen stuff shake that badly. I mean, that's worthy of Danny's stream size. It's a Danny 2462 Kraken type glitch, that. But it was definitely boosters. Alright, let's try it again. 3, 2, 1. Still a bit wobbly. It's not overly happy, but cleared the pad and it seems to be holding, so... hey Solaris! Gonna you drop in? I know you tend to drop in, poke your head around the door, say hi and look, but good to have you here. How's your Sunday morning going? Good as everybody else, I hope. And this thing can shift. Ah, nothing wrong with getting up at 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Oh, perfect separation. Still drawing dragons. Q Cat's still in bed as well. Sounds like a plan for everybody. Except, well, you know, me. Christ, this thing climbs quickly. That wow, this is 60k already. Barely launched. It's a beast of a rocket. Alright, let's go sideways. Apparatus is 70, 71. Pitch down, I think that is. Try and keep the atto under control while we keep going sideways. Ah, it sounds like it was. Hi Sam, how you doing? Another explosion would help. Well, this one kind of half went boom off the pad, so you know. Streaming called Ebony Dragon. She sews tiny dragons. Oh, okay, that's quite cool. I think I might as well just burn out the rest of this stage. Not a lot of fuel left in it. Push the ammo ups, it's much higher. And we're just about orbital. That stage will just come back down again. And now we have 2,500 in this stage to get us to Minmason back. 4 minutes to apoaps. We'll circularize when we get there. Go a little faster. One minute 20. Get us on prograde and burn. .92 by 90. Right, we're in orbit. Let's take it to Minmus. Set as target. And Minmus is in exactly the wrong place. It does this every time. Minmus needs to be about 90 degrees off the ascending and descending nodes, and the Minmus to be about there. So excuse the screen shake, but we have to spin around the planet a few times and get Minmus in the right spot. And once Minmus gets to around about here, set maneuver up and head for the intercept. Because the plan with Minmus is you actually aim to go out this way and you aim to arrive about here, and by the time our ship gets out there, Minmus will have come round and we end up matching it. And to go out that way, you actually end up burning this way, because that's how orbital mechanics works. So we actually put a maneuver in about here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Who told you to time warp? The hell happened there? And there's our Minmus encounter. Not perfect, but not bad. Can I tweak that at all? That's better. We can make change for that when we get there, but that's going to be reasonably close, and that's going to be a burn of 913. Perfect. 2,500 in the tank. That's plenty. 3 minutes to the node. Sorry, 3 minute burn. 1 minute 30 to the node. We should start about now. Let's go. This tiny little engine doesn't make a huge difference to our speed. You don't like how well it's going for a guy who's been awake too long. I'm quite surprised myself, I must admit. I mean, I've done this a few times, it should be second nature by now, but we haven't done the tricky bit yet. The tricky bit is landing, and the trickier bit is getting home again. But yeah, we'll take them to Mimas. We'll see if everybody survives. I mean, if you want to see it go really badly, QCat, then, you know, convince everybody else to donate and we'll get it past 500 and I'll extend the stream, and then I'll be really sleep-deprived and it'll go horribly wrong. That's the best way to do it. Hashtag shameless plug. Oh, this burn takes forever. Come on. Tiny engine's nice and efficient, but it takes a while. There is science to be done there. Ah, it's just material study. I'm not doing that. I'm saving that for... Actually, no, I'm not. I've got a scientist on board. Damn it. I'm going to take that. Feline Wyvern, welcome to the stream as well. I sound more awake than you feel. I'm surprisingly okay, yeah. It's weird how well this is going, really. Both in terms of my ability to actually fly rockets and my ability to still be conscious and coherent, mostly. I'm quite impressed, really. It's great. Oh, I'm sorry, QCat. I'm almost disappointed. I'm sure I'll screw it up later on, don't worry. There's plenty of time for stuff to go horribly wrong yet. This is just a really long, slow burn. Almost there. That's not quite going to get us to Mimas, but it's pretty close. We'll make a correction burn on the way. And it's not going to take much, I don't think, from here. There we go. 6 meters a second. It's going to bring us in... Yeah, it's on the right side. It's in the right plane as well. Ugh, somewhere in there is a maneuver node. Bring that down a tiny bit. Get in a tiny bit. There we go. That'll put us in orbit in Mims quite happily. Enjoy the covfefe, QCat. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, 17 meter a second burn. We have 1500 in the tank. Yep, that should be good to go. Node in 13 minutes. Right, let's fast forward to the node. And once we've made this burn, I'll need to take our scientist out and go and reset the materials bay. So we can get all the materials bay science. That's why we brought a scientist along after all. 40 seconds to the node. Spin that forward a little bit. Node in 8, 3, 2. And that's us arriving at Mimmus. We're up to 182, that's fine, we can bring it down when we get there. We have more than enough fuel to spare. I mean, I could try and tweak it slightly now if I burn the tiniest bit. 62, 46. And crash into Mimmus. There we go. Kilometers. That's about as close as you can get without actually hitting the mountains on Mimmus, I think. "26 is better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, next job. One of you has to get out and go and get the science out of here. And Freelin, you're a scientist. You get to go and do the fun job. For spacewalk, I think. I love the fact that Kerbal's actually fit inside the entire service bay. This is great. Collect the data from there. And restore the experiment. Bring you back out, put you back on board the ship. Close the hatches back up. I should show you the inside of this as well. The inside of this craft is absolutely gorgeous. So Blobble in the middle, Railing on the far side. This is the view that Sam gets from Sam's seat. So we have all the control panel, all the buttons to press, and all our altitude controls. And a speed, 1700 meters a second. And out the windows, space. Ah, Robin's head. And a small hatch in the top for getting in and out as well. Yeah, say goodbye to Kerbin. We are going to go and see Mimmus. That is your dad in Kerbal form, yes it is. And this is the view he gets from the pilot's seat. Getting to look at all the controls. Rapidly gaining height as we're flying away from Kerbin. Alright, let's go to Mimmus. I think the mission we have is just to fly by, but I'm going to go for a landing anyway because I can. I think it will count it because as long as you get into Mimma's space, it counts it as a flyby, no matter what you do after that. So yeah, Mimus is over here, ship's over there, but by the time the ship gets round to this point, Mimus will have made the trip round. It looks like the ship's way ahead, doesn't it? But the ship slows down as it gets to the edge of its orbit. And you certainly find that it grinds to a halt and Mimus gets to catch up. And now we get to do all the science. So, atmospheric pressure scan. I missed that one. Was that? Let me check my donations page. Oh, thank you, Lona. Wish I could give more, but hopefully it helps a little bit. Every little helps. Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. Very kind of you indeed. Really, every donation, no matter how big, how small, it's all good. It's wonderful that you can give anything, so thank you. Thank you very much. More science, temperature scan. Measuring space is still quite impossible. Yeah, we figured that out last time. Mystery goo is quite happy near Mimus, apparently. Material study is worth 62 if we can bring it home. So let's take somebody out for an EVA. Who is that? Did Sam just EVA and we can't see him? Yes, he did. Where did Sam go? Or is it just because we're time warped we can't see him? I'm somewhat confused. We appear to have magically lost our engineer. Eaten by the Kraken. He's not in space anywhere. Just out of curiosity, let's go back to the tracking station, see if we can find him. I think the Kraken just ate our engineer. On what point, I think a combination of using Science Alert to do EVAs whilst in Time Warp has eaten our engineer. I mean, he must be around here somewhere. He's not listed as a separate entity. He must still be on board. Somewhere. Maybe he's just hiding in the storage bay at the bottom. He's not showing up in here. He's not listed as on board either. He was definitely on the ship. I know he was on the ship because we sat looking from his point of view. Okay, that was just weird. That was really, really weird. Unfortunately, I haven't quick-saved in a while, so I can't revert. Not easily. We'll just pretend he's still on board, and we'll carry on with the mission, and if it turns out that the game thinks he's not there, then we'll just bring him back. But that's just the Kraken being awkward, that is. That doesn't count. Oh, hello members, there you are. Phil, and you get to EV8, and you get to go and get all the science. Because I need all of this reset. So, get the data out there. Get the data out of there. Collect data from that and restore it. And one of these has been used as well. We're not quite close enough. You. And restore that. So we're saying it's aliens, are we, also got? That seems fair enough. I mean, they're little green men, they already are aliens. Let's take all the data out of there, and then freeboard. Close the hatch. And let's set ourselves up for an orbital burn. Yep, that's the flyby complete. Science data from space around Kerbal we'll get when we bring the materials bay back. Let's nip back to the space center very quickly and see if we've got any missions to orbit or land on Mimbus, because if we can grab those as well, it's extra bonus points. I think it probably does make humans the aliens, yeah. I mean, Kerbals are Kerbals. Anything that's not Kerbal is alien, so that makes perfect sense. Orbit Mimbus, there we go. I'll have that one. Space station missions are back as well. Explore the moon, plant flag on the moon. And a bunch of scans, and a bunch of tourists. Oh, we'll take the Orbit Mimbus mission, because we're about to do that anyway. And hopefully once we do that one, it'll give us the land on Mimbus mission, which we're about to do as well. Some say the humans are experimental on Kerbals. They would be right. That's exactly what I'm doing. Turn SAS back on. We're set for a maneuver burn. 30-second burn in 11 minutes. Put ourselves in Mimbus orbit. Bring ourselves down to T-minus 15 seconds and make the burn. Oops, missed it slightly. Close enough there. A second or two just there is not going to matter. .39 by 44, just about where we want to be. 39 by 37, okay, we're in orbit. Should be another contract complete, and it is. Let's just nip back to the Space Center and see if we've got a mission to actually land on Mimbus, because, you know, we're doing the whole lot in one go, might as well get the money for it. Might as well have the rewards. No, not the tracking station. Wrong button. Wrong button. Don't want to be in there. I want mission control. One man returned from orbit of Mimbus. That needs a new ship, but plant flag on Mimbus we can do. Land on Mimbus, we can do that as well. I think that's about it. And we can in theory take one more contract, but I don't think we're going to get... Yeah, the man returned from Mimbus needs a new craft. Oh to god, we can't use the current one. It has to be a new vessel from where we are. Otherwise I would have taken it. But there's no point taking it yet because it's not going to get us anywhere. If we go back for a second mission I'll take it quite happily, but yeah, it's not one we can do right now. So let's go fly this. Where to land? Now if we start our descent burn now, we're going to come down on the sunny side, which is good. Put the landing gear out while we can. And auto retrograde and pick a landing spot. I mean, gravity's so low we can put this down anywhere, but it would be nice to come down somewhere flat. Put it down on the mountaintop around here, on the far side. Do something like that. Come down on there. Mountaintop's usually fairly flat on Mimbus. And if we overshoot we can land on the lake bed over here instead. It's a nice gentle drop. Let's aim for there. We'd land on the Land on the flat sea, that's great. Not, we'll land on the mountaintop before it. It's 25 meters a second to deorbit in 17 minutes. That we could definitely do. But the good thing is we're coming down on the sunny side, so we can actually see what we're doing, which makes a world of difference. The 4-second burn, 25 meters a second. Worth remembering because it means that we can do about 7.5 meters a second in terms of acceleration. 7.5 meters per second in terms of acceleration. Which is worth knowing when we're coming down from space and we need to kill our velocity before we land. Okay, let's save there. And as long as we hold retrograde, it should be good to come down. And any second now we should hit science of Mimus. There we go. Grab all of these. And brilliant. You can go and do VA report. For another 32 sites. If I take all the data out of there and reboard, we can get another crew report all the way down if we need it. I'm not going to go and reset all the science just now, we got landings to do first, but we can reset it on the ground and then take all the science there, so there's no urgent need to reset right now. So are they going to come down on top of this mountain or just on the far side of it? I suspect we're going to come down on it by the look of it. In fact, I think I might try and... It's a bit bumpy. You put it down about here? That'd be a good spot. Yeah, the surface of Mimbus curves so fast it's hard to tell what's actually flat and what's the slope. Let's kill our speed and put it down on top of here. I think that's flat, or reasonably flat anyway. Soon find out when we get close, I guess. Right, that's us down at 25 meters a second. Time for a quick EVA. Right, everybody cross your fingers. Going in for a landing. Don't have a shadow yet. Where is the sun? Almost directly overhead. When we do get a shadow, it's going to be exactly underneath us as it comes down. Thank you, Autogod. It does that to me every time. This is why I'm glad somebody's awake, because I completely missed that, and I completely missed my retrograde and all the rest of it. I would have been skimming over the surface at 7 or 8 meters a second thinking I'd stopped. Yes, last time we did it, it screwed up as well. Normally it switches from orbit to surface once you start going suborbital, but it didn't. It doesn't for Mimbus for some reason. Engines not thrust limited, no. Engines at full power. Which is what I want, because killing speed with this is actually quite tricky. It's not the most powerful engine on a craft this big. Definitely on a slope. It doesn't look too bad here in terms of being flat. We'll see. The reaction wheels on this should be able to hold it in if it's on a 15-20 degree slope anyway, so we should be good to land regardless. But we're on land radar, we're not on sea level, so height is right, surface speed is right. Holding surface retrogrades are going to come down dead straight. Blobbing and feeling look particularly happy. And then we can hopefully bring it in for a landing. Start getting some of that speed. 400 meters. Couldn't be much more gentle. It's a shadow. Oh, there it is. We're not having 202 alarm warnings, or 1202 alarm warnings rather. This is not Apollo. All fine. 40 meters, 3 meters a second. Very slight drift, but we can cope with that. And we're down. Stand still. Yep, bit of a slope, but we managed it. Welcome to Mimbus. First time landing. After 22 and 3/4 hours of streaming. I would say I can do this in my sleep, but that would be, you know, not quite true. Alright, fill in, you're a scientist, you need to go and reset the science page. You get to be the first one on Mimbus. First job is to reset this lock. But just before you get to go touch down, you have to do some work first. So I need you to go and resort the science bay.